5 new students arrive at Kirawiza University's old dormitory. The building stands tall yet weathered. Paint peels off the walls. The large windows are covered in dust, and the halls are eerily silent. They're assigned to Corridor 7, the end wing that had just been reopened this year. Corridor 7 feels darker than the others. Lights flicker constantly as they open their rooms. A musty smell hits them, and they hear something shuffling inside the walls. They laugh it off, thinking it's just rats. On the first night, Adnan, one of the students, can't sleep. He hears footsteps in the corridor. Though all doors are locked, when he peeks through the peephole, the hallway is empty, yet the footsteps keep circling. The next morning, they discover something strange in the communal bathroom. On the mirror, a faint message appears as if scratched from the inside. Please don't wake him, but the bathroom was locked all night. On the second night, they all have the same dream, walking alone through an endless corridor, until they reach a giant iron door that keeps knocking from the other side. They don't realize the door exists at the end of Corridor 7. They've never opened it. They thought it was only a dream, but the door is real, and they've just started knocking back. On the third night, the knocking gets louder. This time, everyone hears it even while awake. It's rhythmic. 3 knocks, silence, 3 knocks. No one dares to step out. Adnan, trembling, places his ear against his door, feeling the vibrations. In the middle of the night, Dira, the most daring among them, hears a whisper calling her name from the end of the corridor. She thinks someone is pranking her. Against better judgment, she steps into the corridor barefoot, following the soft voice. Dira finds the iron door slightly ajar. An unnatural cold air seeps out. She notices deep claw marks around the door frame, like something desperately tried to get out or something tried to keep it in. As she reaches for the door, she hears multiple whispers from behind, warning her, "Don't open it." Suddenly, the lights in the corridor go out. There's a loud metallic bang. When the others rush out with flashlights, Dira is gone, vanished. All that remains are her slippers, lying neatly in front of the iron door. While searching for Dira, Adnan finds an old leather-bound journal hidden behind a broken wall panel. The journal belonged to a student who lived there decades ago. Inside are frantic entries about the 7th corridor and the 3rd knock being a forbidden signal. The last entry reads, "If you hear the 3rd knock, it's already too late." One by one, they will answer the knock. One by one, they will disappear into the corridor that was never meant to be opened. Some doors are meant to stay closed, but curiosity has a price no one can afford. Back in their rooms, Adnan, Fayyar, and the others read the old journal by flashlight. It describes how decades ago, students went missing after the iron door was disturbed. Each disappearance was preceded by dreams, knocks, and whispers. No one who opened the door ever returned. The next night, the corridor feels wrong. It's longer. The lights are dimmer. Doors that were once there have disappeared. It's as if the building itself is shifting. Shadows linger too long at the corners of their vision. One by one, the group tries to stay awake, but Fayyar accidentally dozes off in his dream. He sees Dira calling him from behind the iron door, begging for help. He wakes up just as the knocking starts again, this time louder, faster. When the others rush to Fayyar's room, he's gone. With only 3 of them left, they decide to confront the source. They gather their courage and walk toward the iron door. Now fully closed around it, symbols are carved into the floor, symbols they don't recognize. Adnan touches the door, and it opens by itself, revealing complete darkness inside. Inside, they find a massive, abandoned room with rusted beds, broken dolls, and children's drawings on the walls. The drawings depict shadowy figures and a door, always a door. Something moves at the far end of the room, too fast to see clearly. Behind every door is another door, and behind that, something waits, something that remembers them. You can open the door, but you can't choose what crosses over. Adnan, Sari, and Bagas step deeper into the massive, decayed room. Their flashlights flicker on the far wall. They find a second, smaller iron door, this one sealed with heavy chains. Behind it, something begins to breathe, slow, deep, and raspy. Without warning, shadows detach from the walls and begin moving toward them, figures with hollow faces and twisting limbs. Bagas freezes in fear, but Sari screams and pulls him back. The shadows seem unable to cross a line of old salt spread on the floor. A voice speaks from behind the chained door. It sounds like Dira or Fayyar, or maybe both. It begs them to unlock the chains. Please, it's so cold, let me out. But Adnan realizes the voice isn't human anymore. Despite Adnan's warning, Bagas, desperate to save their friends, starts breaking the chains with a rusted crowbar he finds nearby. The shadows howl, the walls of the room begin to bleed, black liquid seeping from the cracks. The final chain snaps, the door creaks open from within the darkness. An enormous, twisted creature slithers out, its body stitched from dozens of missing students. Its face ever-changing between Dira, Fayyar, and unknown others. It hisses, filling the room with cold and despair. When you open the wrong door, it doesn't just steal your soul, it steals everything you love. The stitched creature, enormous and grotesque, slithers across the room toward Adnan, Sari, and Bagas. Its many faces wail and scream. They run back into Corridor 7, but the corridor itself now twists and changes, trapping them inside an endless loop. Realizing they cannot outrun it, Bagas stops and faces the creature to buy time for Adnan and Sari. He shouts for them to go while swinging the crowbar wildly. As the creature engulfs Bagas, the last thing they hear is his scream, echoing unnaturally down the corridor. Adnan and Sari stumble into an abandoned room filled with old ritual symbols. Adnan remembers a passage from the journal. Only by binding the door again with the blood of the awakened can the passage be sealed. Double quotes. It dawns on them. One of them must sacrifice themselves to stop the entity. Sari insists that Adnan escape, offering herself as the sacrifice, but Adnan refuses as the creature tears through the building toward them. They realize they don't have time to argue. They quickly begin drawing the ritual circle using their own blood. As the creature charges in, Adnan steps into the center of the ritual circle, chanting from the journal while Sari keeps the creature back with salt and fire. The creature writhes and screams as the room begins to collapse around them. But something goes wrong. The creature speaks in a language older than time, and the circle cracks. The ritual fails, the creature roars, and the circle shatters completely. Sari is thrown against the wall. Adnan collapses, bleeding, but just before the creature strikes, it suddenly freezes and begins to whisper. Adnan awakens in a black void filled with floating doors. One of them opens on its own, inside. He finds the Hall of Faces, a grotesque chamber where the walls are made of human faces. Whispering, pleading, crying, he recognizes some. Dira, Fayyar, even Bagas. The creature appears before him in its true form, not stitched flesh anymore, but a tall humanoid with a mask made of many mouths, each speaking in a different voice. It offers Adnan a choice: take their place, and the door closes forever. Back in the real world, Sari wakes up. The creature is gone. The building is collapsing. She stumbles out into the cold dawn, but when she returns to the room, they find the iron door, sealed shut once again. On it, there are now 7 knocks carved into the metal. In the void, Adnan takes the creature's offer. As the door seals, his voice joins the whispers. His face slowly merges into the wall of the Hall of Faces, right beside Dira, and Bagas, eyes open, silently watching. The door is sealed, but only for now, because every place has a corridor people forget, and eventually someone will knock again. Time buries most horrors, but some things are only sleeping, waiting for someone to remember. 10 years have passed. The university has grown. The old dorm building long abandoned. New students don't even know Corridor 7 existed. But one day, during a renovation project, the construction crew uncovers a sealed iron door behind a crumbling wall. A curious freshman named Lena hears rumors from the workers. She searches the old building alone. Filming with her phone, she finds the door. When she wipes off the dust, she sees 7 knock marks carved into the metal. Later that night, Lena lies awake in her dorm. It's silent. Then, knock, knock, knock. She looks around, nothing, but the knocking continues, now louder and closer. She checks her phone. The screen glitches and shows a frozen image of Adnan's face, whispering something. Lena is drawn to the old corridor again. The hall seems clean newer, but somehow wrong. The lights flicker in rhythm with the knocks. She turns a corner and sees a door. It isn't the same iron door. It's new, freshly painted, numbered 7. Lena's hand reaches out. Knock, knock, knock. The door creaks open slightly, revealing nothing but pitch black. And from the dark, we hear the whispers again. Some corridors never disappear. They only wait for someone foolish enough to find them again.